back the other way, because I'm confident that Biden, despite what Twitter says about Democrats and Republicans being basically the same, which shut the fuck up, I'm sorry. One of those candidates is a literal fascist, and the other one isn't. There was a right choice there. But Biden is going to right the ship a little bit. So over the course of the next 4 years, will I continue feeling this way? Maybe not. I don't know. Probably not, but it's possible. But for the first time in my life, it's been one of those things where I would consider moving somewhere else, because I'm not entirely sure that this is where I would prefer to live. Especially considering what I was saying just a little bit ago, because we looked into this quite a bit. The queer friendliness of Canada. Canada is the most queer friendly country in the world, full stop. And that's important to me. And the issues like we were talking about with like the racism with the indigenous peoples and stuff like that. Is that a problem? Yes. But is that a unique problem? No. So, stuff like that. The healthcare system in Canada is better, just period. But it's also, it's a different country with a different population, with a smaller population, and a less diverse population. So the Canadian healthcare system works for Canada. I don't think that the Canadian healthcare system could be easily implemented in the United States and have it work. But it is better than the United States is because it works for them. So, yes, Quebec, I think, is really... I think it's amplified in Quebec. In large... I don't want this to sound francophobic, but I was talking about Western Europe has huge issues with Islamophobia. That is really, really specifically centered in France.
From how you understand it.
From what I understand it, yeah. France is wildly Islamophobic, and I think part of that is also just because I think France also has the highest density of Muslims in Western Europe, so they have more opportunity to be Islamophobic. So I'm not shocked that the heavily French influenced area of Canada is similarly more racist than the rest of Canada. Yes, you do. Ray and I would not be allowed to immigrate to Quebec. We wouldn't be, I'm not allowed to move to Quebec right now. And I don't even think, like, even if I did speak French, I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't think you can go directly from the United States to Quebec.
Really?
I don't think. I feel like I read that. I don't know. So. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on any of this shit. I'm just a guy who has an internet connection, which is what everybody is these days. Again, I have a music degree. I don't have a degree in political science or law or international anything. And that's kind of the problem, is most people don't. But there are a whole lot of people who I don't think have the self-awareness to acknowledge that they don't have an expertise in political science or international relations or any of that stuff. And whatever opinion they have, by God, it's the right one come hell or high water, which most of these things don't have black and white answers. There's a lot of gray. There's a lot of gray when it comes to actual politics, not the shit that has been co-opted by politicians and somehow made human rights issues into politics, which is weird, but is like a big thing that has happened. Mm-hmm. Those definitely have black and white issues. Like,
yes, gay people should get married.
Yeah, human rights are human rights. Fuck TERFs. All that jazz. But actual, like, if you want to get into the correct amount of military spending, those do not have black and white answers. Is the American military budget bloated? Hell yes. Do I think that there is still value in the United States having the biggest stick? Who was it that said that? I think Roosevelt said something about speak softly and carry a big stick. I think there's value in that. The United States has never been invaded by a foreign entity for a number of reasons, in part because we're the only people, the only countries that are physically attached to the United States are both allies and always have been, but also because we have the largest army, air force, and navy in the world, and it ain't even close. I think basically everybody in the world knows not to fuck with the United States when it comes to military power. Yes, Emma, it does. However, I don't think this ever got overturned. I don't think you're allowed to be trans and be in the military, which is bullshit. And the weak-ass excuse that was given for that was something about, like, they didn't want to have to pay for, oh god, what's the actual term now? Not gender reassignment, but gender...
affirmation.
Gender affirmation surgery. So, meh. Yeah, we've definitely run this more than 5 times now, and we're not getting a 919, so fuck this game. Anyway.
You just missed a very important time in A-Bomb's chat.
Oh, what happened?
Meowsticks added a gamble command, and I made Nightbot gamble all.
Did Nightbot lose?
And Nightbot lost.
Yo, Nightbot lost! So, yeah, that's actually a really good example of military spending, not a black and white issue. Should trans people be allowed to be in the military? Very black and white issue. And for some reason, both of those things are politicized, and they really shouldn't be. I don't know how those kinds of things were co-opted.
Do you actually want to know?
No, I know how.
Okay.
This doesn't make any sense. Can I explain how Canada is not a socialist country? I mean, because it's not. It's not, right? It's a what's the actual fucking term? A parliamentary democracy? Isn't that what it is?
Now we're on the farm. Let's look for our friends in the hidden place. Oh boy, a duck. Stop. Wait until it's safe.
I'm reading the internet.
Okay.
Look, it's a duck.
Canada is more socialist than the United States, but by and large, classifying Canada as a socialist country requires a very narrow definition of what socialism is.
Look, it's a
Meow 6, I'm starting to think I agree with you. That 919
Oh, yeah, I don't think it does.
doesn't exist.
Like, Canada has socialist policies, but Canada is not socialist, I think is probably how you
Yes, yes. I think that is an accurate statement on how I feel about it. I think Canada has a number of socialist policies implemented.
feel. RTA.
RTA. Yeah. But is not socialist in name. I mean, if Canada were truly a socialist country, then, and again, I'm not an expert on this. I don't have a degree in political science. I'm just a guy. But if Canada were truly a socialist country in all practices, wouldn't it be free higher education, which it's not, free it's free real estate. Like, wouldn't everybody be entitled to some form of free real estate, and a universal basic income? Like, I think that those would be stipulations for a truly fully socialist. Hey, 9:30. How did that even happen? I wasn't paying attention.
Nope, no idea. PB!
You're my
Great. Is this a PB we're gonna submit with us talking about socialism in
Yeah.
Canada?